Hi, and welcome back to the FastAPI and Okteto series. And in this video, I'll be configuring a preview environment for our application that we've been building so far, the guestbook API. But before we go into today's discussion, let's do a quick recap of what we did in the last video. So in the last video, we incorporated a database for application. We moved from using an in-app database to a MongoDB database. We updated our Docker Compose manifest, and all of these changes were made when we're using our remote development environment. So we're able to see changes and debug when necessary, and everything works smoothly. So now I have no concern that when I push this guestbook API to production, everything works fine. Now back to today's topic. So today we're going to configure preview environments for our guestbook API. Why do you think you need a preview environment? What is a preview environment? So a preview environment is a full deployment of your application that is created automatically alongside a pull request. Usually, these environments are built, using code from the branch that is to be merged into the base branch or whatever branch you're going to merge into. And why do you think you need a preview environment? I'll give you a scenario. You're building an application, you have a new feature you want to work on, and you're working on it, you're using Okteto development environment, it works in dev environment, but now you need to merge into production. And so because you want other people on the team, the reviewers, your QA, the manager, and everyone else, and even all the general public, to see this change you've been working on, and as you make more changes to the feature. Now, you make these changes, you create a pull request, you submit the pull request, and then traditionally you have to build images per commit to push. You send it to a CI server, maybe to Jenkins or something, and then it takes time, and then you have to now send the image to Docker Hub or something, and then people want to test it, have to pull it and deploy it on any cloud platform they want to, which is a lot of stress. But here in Okteto, we provide preview environments that ease all of this stress. The environment is built immediately a pull request is created, and the pull request that is created automatically updates the preview environment when there are changes made to it. So that is, preview environment is updated automatically. As you push a commit, the pull request tells Okteto that, okay, yes, there's a new commit. I want you to update the preview environment that you have. So now we're going to make use of GitHub Actions. We're going to make use of the workflow, and then with Okteto Actions, and then we're also going to make use of Okteto personal access tokens. Let's log into our dashboard first. So to use GitHub sign on, we don't need a credit card. It's free. Now, if you look at my dashboard, on the left pane, we have namespaces, we have previews, and we have settings. In previews, here, when I click on previews, it is where I have my preview environments. That is, when I have a preview environment created for a pull request, it is listed here, and it's totally different from a namespace. That is, there's no collision whatsoever. And now, when I go back here, this is my repository here, and now we have to set up a workflow ourselves since we don't have a template. So we're going to click on set up a workflow ourselves, and now we have a template here. Before we proceed, you're going to have to create an Okteto personal access token, because the Okteto action file is going to require a token when to gain access into your cluster and interact with your cluster. And although we can add that before that, but let's add it first. So go back to settings. When you go to settings, you go to secrets. In secrets, you're going to add a new repository secret. Now, we go back to Okteto to get our personal access token. We go to settings. You have developer settings, personal access tokens. Click on new token. I'm going to call this the guestbook API. I'm going to generate a token. Now, you copy this token, as you can only see it once. We go back to our actions, to our repository, we create Okteto token here, and we paste the value that we got from our Okteto dashboard. Then we add the secrets. Now this is in place. We go back to our actions tab, click on set up a workflow yourself, and now we have a template here, and you can choose to just edit it rather. Since we are going to we are working on making pull requests here to the main branch, we are going to rename this to create a preview environment, and we said on pull requests, yes, to branch, to the main branch. I'm going to, this is the jobs, runs on this, and then we're going to change all of this step now. Now, the first thing we want to do is to log into your Okteto cluster that is once given the workflow for access to your cluster so that you can make use of the features we have and then set up your preview environment. If this is not provided, there is no way you have your preview environment created when you have a pull request. So the first step is going to be, we're going to have a name. We're going to say log into Okteto. And then we're going to say uses, that is the action it uses is going to be Okteto login master with, remember, for we to have access to Okteto, we surely cannot use our username and password, but instead we're going to use the token that has been provided. So we're going to say token secrets.okteto token, the one we just created. And now we have the first step has been created, that is log into Okteto. Now the next step will be to deploy a preview environment. So I'm going to say name. This is going to be deploy preview environment. We are going to make use of another action that Okteto provides. This is going to be deploy preview master with, well, before we use it now, because when you are going to create a pull request, you have a preview environment, it is preferable you have different preview environments created for different pull requests, that is maybe different features. Although you can choose to have just one preview environment based for a pull request, but this this causes collision. If 3 people are working on 3 different features, there's no way, there's no balance, because the preview environment is going to be updated every time as long as there's a pointer to that. So to avoid that, we're going to create a GitHub token here, which is going to be secrets.github token. That's going to be our environment file. Then now we go back to use with the name of the preview environment. We're going to call it pr dash github.events.number dash your namespace, which in this case mine is youngest dev. Now what is this? This is the name of the preview environment to be created whenever a pull request is made. That is, you have PR. If the pull request is the first, so you have preview environment as PR1 youngest dev. If the pull request is 4, you have all of this. Now the next thing is, because that is to the scope is personal, that is a single person only, and then the timeout is going to be 15 minutes. That is for how long are we going to tolerate this action if it does not deploy or create anything. Once it's 15 minutes to timeout. Whenever there are errors, this will be communicated clearly to you, both in your dashboard and your action, as a comment from the action files. So we're going to see this as quickly. And then before we commit, let's do a quick rundown of what we've done. Now we have an action file, or a workflow file rather, that instructs GitHub itself. That's okay, yes, this is a pull request. I have an amazing feature I want everyone else to see. I want you to create a preview environment and update it as long as I make comments. Now we name it as create a preview environment, and this should trigger on every pull request made to the main branch. And you say, okay, we have a job, but we have just one job for you with a couple of steps. And the first step is to log into Okteto with the token we provided. Then the second is to deploy the preview environment, that is deploy everything we have now. And I'm going to use action Okteto /deploy preview. Now we have an environment variable we just set here. We say secrets against token. And now we said, okay, when you are going to create this preview environment, we want you to use this name, that is deployed under this name. Now we are going to commit this file here. And now this is now in our main branch. Now when you go back to your repository, you can see you have 2 branches waiting for pull requests. So we're going to make use of database support, which was the last updated branch for the last video. So I'm going to say in this PR, I have made changes and updated the working capacity for the application. And then I create this pull request. I can see all of this commits here, and then in a second the action is going to get triggered. Now it is, and I want to monitor and see if indeed this action file is working. If the workflow configured is valid. And now I can see the first thing it did was to log into, and now is to deploy this. Okay, it's setting up, so we'll just wait for a moment. We'll go back to our previews here. This is going to be updated automatically once we have a preview environment being built. In the meantime, we're going to watch the logs here in the workflow file. Also, action files are not only configured for preview environments. You can also use them for continuous deployment in an event where you want to update the application each time a commit is made. Then you can always do that. And we can have a preview environment has been created. So now we go back to Okteto. You can see it's automatically updated. Now in the preview section, you can see the name, the status, what branch was this preview environment built from, the pull request number, the owner, the endpoints, which will be updated when the application has been built, and the last updated at the time. Okay, yes, this was the last time it was updated. Now when I open this, I have a mini dashboard that shows the namespace here. I can delete this if I want, and I have the guest book. I can see that this part has been executed. When I click on this, I have web, I have MongoDB, and I have volumes, and now this is working. Now I have an endpoint here. When I go back to the previews dashboard, I can see that this has been updated. Now when I open this and I say yes, let's see if this works, I click on this. But again, you can go back to the actions to confirm if this has successfully worked. And when you go back to your pull request, the GitHub bot is going to comment, okay, yes, this has been deployed, and you can see your changes here. So your preview environment has been deployed, and you can, when I click on this, I can see this, and I can confirm from the interactive documentation that yes, indeed, this contains the changes we worked on in the last video, as you can see. So now I am sure that the application works, and I'm ready to merge into production, knowing that yes, this is going to be the same thing, and there's no changes, and yes, I'm happy when I make changes to this pull request, it works, and then I'm going to merge it. But before we have to go back. Before merging into production, what happens when I merge the pull request? I don't need the preview environment anymore. I need to discard it. What do I do then? Do I have to delete this preview environment manually, or do I have to? How do I automate the process? Here at Okteto, we make development easier for everyone. Your preview environment was automatically created. Likewise, it can be automatically deleted. So the next thing we do before merging production again is to set up another workflow. And this time around is to destroy a preview environment. So we say new workflow. I'm going to set ourselves. And so again, we are going to change this, but this time around it's going to be on pull requests. But this time we want types, that is this is closed. And what type of pull request should I act on? Is it when it's a new one? Is it when it's closed? Anything. As long as it's closed, whether it is merged or cancelled or closed, the pull request is invalid. The preview environment gets to be deleted to save us resources and unnecessary costs. So I'm going to remove all of this, and the first thing we want to do is to destroy this. We want to log in again, which we delete. So the first thing I want to do is to say log into Okteto, log into Okteto, and this is login into Okteto. Okay. And you say uses. So remember in the last action file we use Okteto login master with what? With the token, which is at secrets. That's Okteto token, right? And for the next one, we're going to say destroy view environment. Oh, that should be name. Rather, is name here. So we have destroy view environments. And again, we're going to use another action. And the previous one we used deploy preview, but now we're going to use destroy preview master. Well, now we don't have to use any environment file or anything. So instead, we're going to say with name is going to be PR. We use github.events.number. This is going to be youngest. And now before we, commit this workflow file, let's look at what we've done. Now we're going to name as, okay, this is going to be destroy, review, and environment. So the first one is deploy, and this is destroy. Okay. And now we have on what should trigger this particular workflow. So when the pull request is closed. And now for the jobs, we have one job, we can just change to destroy rather. And we have sub jobs. The first job is to log into Okteto once again and then destroy this preview environment that we have. And we said destroy this preview environment with the name PR dash, beginning of event number dash youngest step. And so we're going to change this to preview close dot, YAML file. Okay. And then we commit this into main. Okay, so now that we were done with that, we're going to merge this into the main branch. So our main branch is updated with all the code we've done so far in the video. So we're going to confirm this merge. And now we can see that this has been successfully merged into main. So now we go back to our actions file to see if this is going to be deleted. Then we go back to the database and click on destroy. And then you can see the first thing it's doing is to log into Okteto. And you can go to your previews here and you can see the status is deleting. That is, the action is working. And this is automated. You don't have to delete manually. Immediately your pull request is closed. The action takes care of it, and this has been deleted. So when I come here, we have no more preview environments. So let's do a quick recap of what we've done today. So today we, talked about preview environments, how you can configure them, and it was practical. I configured this for the guestbook application we've been building so far. Looked at automating the creation and the deletion process, which is amazing and saves us time. In summary, the preview environment is ideal, and I think every one of you should try it. It's amazing. It takes the power of Okteto's both development environments to give you an instantaneous environment for your pull request. You can see changes before merging, share it with your team members. I think it's just also amazing. So I want you to try it. Tell me in the comment section what you liked the most. How have you been using Okteto? I want to see in one of the community calls you saw how another company uses the preview environment. Do try it out. Let me know how you feel. Your experience with preview environments and all we've discussed in the past 3 videos. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. That is, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Comment what you like the most, and see you in the next one.